ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनं। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 45 ॐ ऋतुः सुदर्शनः कालः परमेष्ठी परिग्रहः उग्रः संवत्सरो दक्षो विश्रामो विश्वदक्षिणः विस्तारस्थावरस्थाणुः प्रमाणं बीजमव्ययम् अर्थोऽनर्थो महाकोशो महाभोगो महाधनः अनिर्विण्णस्थविष्ठो भूर्धर्मयूपो महामखः नक्षत्रनेमिर्नक्षत्री क्षमः क्षामः समीहनः यज्ञ इज्यो महेज्यश्च क्रतुः सत्रं सताङ्गतिः सर्वदर्शी विमुक्तात्मा सर्वज्ञो ज्ञानमुत्तमम्. While discussing this shloka, we have completed the first 6 namas, and now we need to take up the 7th and the 451st nama, Sarvadarshi. Darshi means the one who sees, the seer, the knower. All of our vision is very, very alpa. We are all alpadarshis. And at any given period of time, we see only at one aspect of our life. One aspect of our life. Think. And Bhagavan here is named as Sarvadarshi. Amongst us, we are 1 Alpadarshis, 2 we are Ekadarshi. What is this Ekadarshi? We only think of ourselves. And we only think of our gains, our pleasure, ityadi. Whereas Bhagavan, Sarvadarshi, he visualizes the whole cosmos. And in our case, we are some of us have short-term vision and some of us have got long-term vision. In very many cases, a long-term vision is forgotten. While we are trying to achieve the small-term goals, which I call it here as vision, we forget the long-term goal. The very purpose of human being is to gain that ultimate goal, which is Atma Swarupa, the jnanam of Atma Swarupa and the abidance in it. That is our only actual goal. The rest are all wasteful goals. Why wasteful? Why is it wasteful? Because it does not give us what we actually want. 2, it does not take us to the ultimate goal for which we are created in this world as human beings, and therefore rest are all waste. 1. 2, the rest are all impermanent goals. Why do I say impermanent goals? Because that goal having gained which, again the mind takes the next step. So whatever goal I feel at this given period of time, this is my ultimate goal, never is the ultimate goal. One particular vision of that Supreme Being will suffice. Then there is no more goal, there is no more vision required. That is the ultimate vision. Therefore, ours is Alpadarshi, we are all Alpadarshis or we are all Duradarshis. And some of them are Duradarshanis, Doordarshan all the time in the TV or mobile, etc., etc. We are only in that small petty vision we have in life. But to have a vision which encompasses everything, which encompasses the whole universe, is the vision of the Lord, which is called as Sarvadarshi. He is one who has the vision of all. Sarvesham praninam krita akritam sarvam pashyati swabhavikena bodhena. Very, very important. Swabhavikena bodhena iti Sarvadarshi. The one by the very nature of being Jnana Swarupam. Bhagavan is what? Sat, Chit, Ananda Swarupaha, and Chit refers to consciousness. Consciousness is another word for Jnanam. And Swabhavikena Bodhena, because he is of the nature of knowledge, he knows everything. He can see everything. Sarvesham Praninam, not only the human beings, but even from the unicellular organism to everything. Krita Kritam Sarvam Pashyati. He sees the work done and the work undone. And based on that, he takes a call on how to give the karma phala. One way of looking at it is, Bhagavan is a karma phala data. This is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is, we ourselves design our karma phala. Through what? Through our own karma. And therefore, Bhagavan, we sees through krita akritam sarvam. Everything he sees. I think this we also, to our children, when we tell stories, we tell one story. The Guru gave one banana to all the 11 students and said, go and eat it where nobody is there. Everybody, some went to all directions, went into the room, went into the kitchen, behind the building, outside the ashram, and somebody went even into the bathroom to eat because nobody will come there. And it was only one person who came without eating, because he said, Bhagavan is everywhere. He is seeing everywhere. So where is there? Bhagavan is not there. There I can go and eat, but Bhagavan is everywhere. Therefore, I cannot eat this banana. Why? He sees everything. Sarvadarshi. And the next nama, Vimuktatma. What a beautiful name. Acharya Shankara, when he writes, he says, Swabhavena Vimuktaha. By nature, it should be Swabhavena. Vimuktaha, the one who is detached. The one who has no inclination as though, no desire as though, no attachment as though. Why there is no attachment or desire? Because everything is he himself. Desire, attachment is always something which is other than me. When everything is me, now I cannot say, I have great desire for my little finger. It is eternally mine. Is it not? I may say, I have great desire for my hairs. Why? It is falling. At times it will not be yours. Isn't it? And we keep on shaping and everything. Because it is not actually ours. But from the current expression, I cannot say, I have a desire for my middle finger. It is mine. It is already mine. Think. So anything other than me, I can desire. Bhagavan has totally no desires. Why? Everything is he himself. Remember the second law? Effects are nothing but cause itself in different forms. So when cause pervades, it is Bhagavan who is everything. Therefore, Swabhavena Vimuktaha, he has no desires. And then, Atma. This Atma can be looked at two different standpoints. One, Jivatma. When it comes to Jivatma, the goal is Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma, and when the goal is Parabrahma, rest all has to be given up. Vairagyam has to come. And if it is Paramatma, Paramatma is everything. Therefore, there is no question of attachment. Therefore, Vimuktatma yasya iti, Vimuktaha Atma yasya iti, Vimuktatma, the one who is ever liberated by nature. There is nothing to hold, because he is all-pervading reality. When there is all-pervading reality, there is nothing other than him for him to desire. There is nothing other than him for him to get attached to. Vimuktaha cha asau atma cha iti vimuktatma. What does it mean? It is actually one word. Atma is Vimuktaha. It is Vimuktaha by itself. Therefore, it can also be taken as one single word. Separately Vimuktaha or separately Atma can be looked at differently, but when you put together, it is the very nature of Parabrahma Swarupa, which is Bhagavan Narayana. Then comes the next Nama, Sarvajnaha. In fact, this word, this Nama, we have dealt with it several times with several other Namas. Nyaha, the one who is the knower, who has the knowledge of what? Sarva. Who is the knower of everything. Rather, he is the very knowing principle in everything. Therefore, he is Sarvajnaha. Acharya Shankara writes, Sarvascha Asaugnaha cha iti Sarvajnaha. The one who is all. Now look at this beautiful way of looking at it. What did we say earlier? Nyaha, knower of sarva, everything. Knower of everything. But the another meaning is Sarvaha cha asau nyaha cha. He is everything and he is a knower of everything. Both can be taken into cognizance here. Sarvajnaha, the one who is all and knower of all. Now, the next beautiful Nama again, Jnanamuttamam, the last Nama in the shloka. Uttamam Jnanam. Here, Uttamam is an adjective to Jnanam. Therefore, Uttamam Jnanam also is one single word. Acharya starts with that. Jnanamuttamam iti etat savisheshanam ekam nama. It is one single name, Uttamam Jnanam. And what is that Uttamam Jnanam? Again, Acharya elaborates. Jnanam Prakrishtam. Prakrishtam, that which is the supreme. There is nothing beyond this knowledge. This again we have time and again reiterated, repeated in very many namas, and it will also continue further. Prakrishtam Jnanam, Uttamam Jnanam, ultimate Jnanam. Ajanyam. Ajanyam, Janyam means that which is born. Ajanyam, that which has no beginning. Unborn. 1. 2. It is unproduced. Why it is unproduced? It is not a product. Therefore, Uttamam Jnanam is that which cannot be produced. It is the very beginningless being. Because he is the very existence itself. When existence itself is Bhagavan, the very knowledge itself is Bhagavan, he alone can be the ultimate. There cannot be anything other than that. And then, Anavachinnam Sarvasya. Anavachinnam meaning what? That which is unlimited. That which cannot have a boundary. Therefore, he is that unlimited knowledge. In fact, it speaks of consciousness. Consciousness itself is called Jnanam. Consciousness has to be unlimited, and therefore Jnanamuttamam, that alone can become the supreme knowledge. And Sadhakatamam, Sarvasya Sadhakatamam, for everybody it is achievable. We can gain the knowledge of the Supreme. It is, many people may think, oh, Atma Jnanam and all is not our cup of tea, Swamiji. We are all common, normal, samsarika jantus. Therefore, for us it is not possible. No. This Jnanam, in fact, Upanishad says, it is as easiest as ever. The rest all is difficult. Are difficult. All objective knowledge is difficult. Why? You just check. LKG or nursery class when you went, to know or write A, you must have written that A 2345 times. And in spite of it, it will go one to Mumbai and another one to Sri Lanka. Isn't it? that even that particular format will not come properly. To get that format right, abba, think. And the world is also very good. They give you dent slate. We have what is called as dent alphabet slates, where the chalk, when you keep, it will go only straight. It cannot go somewhere else. To practice. For alphabets, so much of difficulty is there, and what to talk of rest of the things. Everything is difficult. But the only thing which is the really most easiest, test most, I know my English is wrong, is what? Atma. Why? Me, myself. In a dark room, to find out if something is there, we require light to find out. Therefore, there must be electricity, or there must be a torch. I should know where the torch is. I should know that the battery is there in the torch. I should know that the bulb is working in the torch. Otherwise, I should not wait for the electricity to come. For one small thing, which I know it is there, but for me to pick up that product, I require light. I have so much of dependency on external factors. But even in the darkness, I am, for which I don't require any external support. That easy is Atma Jnanam. But because my mind is totally lost into the whims and fancies, Atma Jnanam appears to be very difficult. That's why Acharya says, Sadhagatamam sarvasya iti jnanam uttamam. It is available, it is possible, it is achievable. With a little bit of effort, it is very easily achievable, is what Acharya says. And this jnanam is the ultimate jnanam. Adhyatma vidya vidyanam, says Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, I am that Adhyatma Vidya among all the Vidyas. What is this Adhyatma Vidya? My very own consciousness. Samvidesha Swayam Prabha, says Panchadashi. Samvit, with means knowing. Samvit, total knowledge, complete knowledge of Esha. What is Esha? Consciousness. Swayam Prabha, that which is self-effulgent. Therefore, this knowledge of Adhyatma is the supreme knowledge, Jnanamuttamam. Taittiriya Upanishad very beautifully says, Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman So Oshnute Sarvan Kamaan Saha. Brahmavit apnoti param. Taittiriya Upanishad, the second Brahmananda Valli starts. Brahmavida apnoti param tadesha bhyukta. What is that? Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. This existence, knowledge, and anantam, the whole infinity, all pervasive Brahman, is the ultimate knowledge, Jnanamuttamam. Continuing. Suvrata sumukha sukshma sughosha sukhada surat manoharojita krodho veera bahur vidarana. Suvrata sumukha sukshma sughosha sukhada surat manoharojita krodho veera bahur vidarana. The 49th shloka starts with the word Suvrataha. The first among the 10 namas, Suvrataha is very beautifully described as Shobhanam Vratam Asya iti Suvrataha. Su represents Sushtu and Su also represents Shubham, Shobhanam. And Vratam. What is Vratam? Vow. Sankalpa. And austerity also can be called as Vrata. Suvrata is the one who has a total control of taking a vow and exercising that vow. In the shloka, interestingly, you will find Bhagavan Sri Rama can be related so very well. Vrataha, vow. Bhagavan Sri Ramchandraji's vow was so firm. We also take up so many vows. We also take up so many vratas. But at particular occasions, we are ready to compromise. And we have so many useless justifications for that. Think. We take up from tomorrow, Swamiji, I am going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Other days, 5 o'clock is almost midnight. Think. 5 o'clock I am going to wake up, Swamiji, and I am going to do some exercises. That tomorrow never comes. Think. In case by mistake, out of unknown inspiration, you actually perspire to get up at 4:55, let us say. 5 o'clock you had kept the alarm. The first day, 4:55 you wake up. And then you pat yourself. 5 minutes before the alarm, I stopped the alarm. Alarm did not wake me. Second day, the 4:55 becomes 5 o'clock. I wake up. Third day, alarm rings and I wake up. Fourth day, alarm rings, I tap on the head and continue. Fifth day, I don't even set the alarm. This is our vrata. Some people take up Mauna vrata. Swamiji, till 8 o'clock in the morning, after I wake up, I will not speak. After 8 o'clock, I will speak. And before 8 o'clock, in case others also wake up and come near you, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Odissi, Manipuri, break, unbreakable dance, all these dances you will do to communicate one thought. Why? Mauna. Instead you could as well speak. Think. What is the purpose of all these austerities? Is to discipline my mind, discipline the mind to be quiet. Till 8 o'clock, nothing, everything can wait. But it is at that time I become so desperate. After 8 o'clock when I start speaking, sometimes I don't speak at all. Why? That time there is no conditioning. Here there is conditioning and I am unable to hold on to conditionings. Think. So many other vratas we may say. Mondays, Swamiji, I will have vrata. What is that vrata? I will not take food at night. What is that I will not take food? I will not take rice, that's all. And then what is that in Tamil they say? Palaharam. What is palaharam? Pala in Tamil has got two meanings. One, fruit. It is supposed to be phala. It's a very important word actually. Phala, Mahaprana. Aharam, food, which is nothing but one fruit. Remember, phalani aharamna. It is phalam. Only one fruit, any fruit, one fruit you should take. That's all. But in pala, another meaning in Tamil, pala means varieties. So only rice will not be there. For compensating that rice, I will have 7 items. Think. Meaning what? I don't have the right knowledge of the vratam. 1 month I take a vrata. What is that? In this 1 month, I will not take coffee. But first 10 days somehow you do. After 10 days you lament about it. You know, I am not taking coffee. You go to some house, they want to ask you, what will you have? They come and ask you. You know, I don't drink coffee now. Nobody asked us. What will you not drink? Nobody wants to know. What will you drink? They want to know so that they can offer. But why does that statement come? No, 1 month I won't take coffee, therefore you give me tea. Think. That means what? My mind is still meditating upon coffee. Is it not? Then what kind of vratam it is? So vratam, when I say, it is a vow that is to be completely taken up. Otherwise, what is the big deal of taking a vratam? Look at Ramchandra ji. When he had taken a vratam for his life, till the end he maintains that. In every aspect of life you will see Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji has taken so many vratas. Not a single vrata he has overruled. Think. Therefore, Suvrataha, when it is said, the one with an admirable commitment. You know, commitment is such a very important thing in life. Without commitment, we can reach nowhere in any field of activity. Therefore, taking vratam is one of the best way. In fact, if I have to do something which my mind is not actually giving way towards it, that is the time I must take it as a vratam and then do it. I commit myself towards that. And Bhagavan is Suvrataha, the one who has admirable commitment. And one more thing is, all sankalpas of Bhagavan is auspiciousness itself. Therefore, here Su can also mean Shobhanam. What is Shobhanam? Auspiciousness. All his vratas are auspicious for the good of the whole humanity, for the good of the whole universe. Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvabhutebhyah dadami etat vratam mama. Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji says, etat vratam mama. This is my commitment. This is my vrata, vow. What is that? Sakrideva prapannaya. For those people who are yogis, who are bhaktas, who are people who follow righteousness, tava asmiti yachate. I am yours. Very many times we say, you are mine. But how many of us actually say, I am yours? Think. We don't want to become a product for somebody, but we want others to become mine. I want to own. Think. Tava asmiti achate, the one who comes and says, Bhagavan, I am completely yours. Trahimam, pahimam, anyatha sharanam nasti, tvameva sharanam mama, narayanaiti samarpayami. These are all words not for just uttering out of habit. If you utter out of habit, it is noise. But when I come with my whole heart surrendered at the feet of Bhagavan, in fact, there is no more Dvaita there. There is no Bhakta or Bhagavan separate. I have totally surrendered. For such people, Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyah. Sarvabhutebhyah, not only to human being who come. For any creature, the one who surrenders, Abhayam Dadami. Etat vratam mama. This is my vratam. And Ramchandra ji, if you read Ramayana, many of us know Ramayana completely. Anybody who came as a refuge, at the refuge of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji, he protects. Even the opposite camp. What is the opposite camp? Ravana's camp. Rakshasas. Vibhishan ji came and surrendered. Bhagavan protected him till the end. Therefore, Abhayam Dadami. This is Bhagavan's way of, or rather Bhagavan's nature itself. Therefore, he is called Suvrataha. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. This is the commitment of Bhagavan. Param Pujya Swami Brahmanandji, the head of Karnataka Chinmaya Mission, once came to Mangalore and he conducted a 7-day talk on Bhagavad Gitayalli Bhagavantana Bharavasegalu. And he picked up such beautiful shlokas where, like for example, Name Bhaktah Pranashyati. Bhagavan's commitment, my devotee shall not perish. Kaunteya Pratijanihi. Like that, he picked up so many places where Bhagavan assures the devotee. What is that? You don't worry, I will take care. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. All these are what? Vrata of Bhagavan to protect his devotees. And he has never stepped back even for a 1 millimeter. Therefore, he is called Suvrataha. But what is the condition there? I must first surrender. Sarvadharman parityajya. Meaning what? Having given up everything, rights, duties, karma, karma phala, ahankara, ityadi, sarvadharman parityajya, giving up everything, mamekam sharanam vraja. The one who comes to me, ananyaha chintayantaha ye mam pariupasate, tesham nityabhyuktanam. He is very clear. He is very categorical. He says, I will protect, but the one who comes and surrenders will definitely be protected by me. Moksha ishyami mashuchaha. So, ityadi statements you will find Bhagavan ensures. And the best part, all of our Puranas are filled with confrontation between Asuras and Devatas. It is not that Devatas alone are given position in the Swarga, even Asuras gain liberation. Liberation, when I say, it may not be a liberation in that particular sense of the word, it can definitely be Swarga. It can be Brahmaloka if the Asura is well knowledgeable. Ravana is supposed to be a great jnani. Think. And such a great knowledgeable people, they go to Brahmaloka and from there eventually they will also get liberation. So Bhagavan protects everybody. Therefore he says, Suvrataha, he is called as Suvrataha. I shall free you from all sins. What a great commitment Bhagavan has shown. What a great vrata. I will take care of you, you come. But we have so much of our own attachments, we are not ready to go. Therefore Bhagavan waits. Think. But his vrata is what? I will take care of you. Name bhaktah pranashyati. Continuing, in the next nama you will find Sumukhaha. Bhagavan is called as what? Sumukhaha. What is Sumukhaha? Shobhanam mukham asyaiti sumukhaha. The one whose mukha is so beautiful. Very interesting. Why is it so beautiful? See, one may say, Swamiji, these are all Kalpanika Chitra. What is Kalpanika Chitra? Man-made, personified God. When we say personified God, there the personification is made so beautiful so that my mind can connect. Bhagavan Sri Vishnu, Bhagavan Sri Ramchandraji, Bhagavan Krishna, Shiva, everybody has got a charm in their face which just attracts millions of us, isn't it? Why, even face of Mahaganapati, it's an elephant face, but still it is made charming. Isn't it? Why? The important reason here, why Bhagavan is very charming, how he has got Sumukha is because, if you permit me to use again my Matrabhasha, it is said, Agattin Alagu Mugattil Theriyum. My inner being can be seen in our face. The one who is very confused, the one who is very angry, the one who is very happy, the one who has no emotions. All emotions in our inner being can be seen in our face. Even let us say, Swamiji, I am very angry, but I will speak to him what to do. And then, hello, how are you? Like that, even if we go and speak, our face will reveal. Isn't it true that you also get to know the emotions of the other persons when you go and speak to him? Even if the other person wears a plastic smile, we understand that it is a plastic smile. Think. That is the glory of this creation. Bhagavan has got Sumukha because in him there is no agitation. There is no raga dvesha. There is no desires. There is no aversion. There is no boredom. You name anything, nothing is there. That does it mean he is such a face which cannot be seen? There is no emotion at all. No. The absence of all these temporary conditionings makes that face so beautiful. Why? Ananda Swarupatvat. Therefore, Shobhanam Mukham, a mukha which is so auspicious, so beautiful, so wonderful, so charming. Think about this for a moment. We see small children. However the child baby may be, dark, any maybe slim or fat or whatever way it may be, that baby's face is so beautiful. I remember once Param Pujya Guruji Swami Tejamayji said, even a baby crow's face will be beautiful, he said. Kitten, puppy, think. Any animal you take, any animal, owl, donkeys, pigs, you take any animal, that baby of that animal is so beautiful, so wonderful. Think. Why? Minus ahankara, minus ragadvesha, minus kama krodha ityadi. And where there is no ragadvesha, when there is no kama krodha ityadi shadvairinaha, there is no ahankara, it must be beautiful. And Bhagavan is devoid of all of them. Therefore, he is Sumukha. Therefore, he has beautiful, pleasant face. And that is why whenever we see Bhagavan's picture, our mind becomes takshanam quiet. How many times have we seen the same photo of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandraji? How many hundreds of times have we seen photo of Bhagavan Krishna? Or how many times Devi Mata or Hanumanji or Ganapati, any of the Devatas, when you see the picture, every day you see. But look at the way we relate with the people. Our own people, sometimes you don't feel like seeing the face. Is it not? Our own colleagues, we don't want to see the face properly. Why? Raga Dvesha comes in between. And once I don't like that person, for God's sake, I don't want to see that person's face. Think. Why? Completely messed up life with full of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, ityadi. All these makes the face such a painful object to watch. Think. Bhagavan Sumukhaha. He is so beautiful. Why? No vairinaha. No raga dvesha. Nothing. Therefore, Bhagavan is eternally beautiful. Sukshmaha. Sukshma means what? Subtle. The subtlety of anything is defined by its pervasiveness. And Bhagavan is all pervasive. There cannot be anything more pervasive than Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan is subtlest of subtle. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. We sing in that bhajan, Guru Mahima, Apara Mahima, Guru Mahima. Anoraniyan Guru Mahima, Mahato Mahiyan Guru Mahima. Anoraniyan, meaning what? Subtlest of the subtle is Bhagavan. Sukshmaha, Shabdadi Sthula Karana Rahitatvat Sukshmaha. It cannot come under the purview of the senses. Shabdadi here what? Sabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. It doesn't come into that purview. It doesn't come into the purview of perception of the senses or the sense organs. Why? It is the subtlest of all, the all-pervading reality. Therefore, Sukshmaha, Sukshmat Sukshmataram Nityam, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Sugoshaha. Goshaha means we know this word very often. I mean, we have heard. Veda Ghosha we have heard. Ghosha is what? That sound which is loud and firm. Not the screeching sound. Not the troublesome sound. A sound which is melodious, which is sweet, yet loud and firm. And the best of it is Veda. And Bhagavan, the Veda represents Bhagavan, and Bhagavan is nothing but Veda. Think. Therefore, Sughosha is Ghoshanam, the sound of the Veda. Shobhena Ghoshaha Vedatmakaha Asyeti Sughoshaha. It is Vedatmakaha. It is nothing but the sound of the Vedas, which is Bhagavan. Sughoshaha. Sukhadaha. Daha means giver. Giver of what? Sukha. This 123 times we have already discussed. Isn't it? The one who is the giver of sukha alone. He is not the giver of pain and suffering. We people only out of our own ignorance say, oh, Bhagavan has no courtesy on me. He has no mercy on me. He has been giving trouble after trouble. Bhagavan does not give trouble, please. All trouble and pain are self-created, created out of my own actions, my own karma. Phala is all my trouble and pain and suffering. And it is my own karma phala which is also pleasure. Think. Both are karma phala only and none of them are permanent. Therefore, Bhagavan can only give sukha. Why? He is Ananda Swarupaha. Sadvrittanam sukham dadati. The one who has good thoughts, righteous thoughts, positive thoughts, to them Bhagavan gives sukham. Asadvrittanam sukham dyati khandayativa. To one who has negativities and negative thoughts, Bhagavan cuts away, removes what? All sukham from them. They only experience pain and suffering and disturbance. In fact, Bhagavan actually does not do anything. It is our own karma. But it is well blessed by Bhagavan. For what? To correct us. To treat our own deficiency. Therefore, he is called Sukhadaha. Rest we will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.